3, 2, 1. I don't know why. Okay. We're live.
We're live.
In Technicolor, I think.
In beautiful Technicolor. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast, On to the Next, with myself. I'm James Kemp.
And I'm Emilia Munsley, and we are bringing you a brand new podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're super excited. We are just your couple of ragtag musical theatre performers.
Yeah, we love a bit of musical theatre. We are professional performers working in the industry, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And we are just going to chat about all things stagey life on this podcast. So we're going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're going to stay up all day. We're going to sleep up all night. It's a quote from The Office.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. No, but we're best friends as well. Like, we've been best friends since
2015.
Yeah, 2015. That's when we met. Well, actually, I met you before that.
When?
I met you at this random rehearsal for a pantomime.
Yes, Dorking pantomime.
Yeah, for the Dorking pantomime. I think it was Aladdin. We were doing Aladdin, and we were both meant to be child dancers. Well, I followed through and completed the contract. Someone over here dropped out.
I went, and it wasn't for me. Listen, I think I was doing my A-levels.
Yeah, you were.
And I've done many a panto babe stuff many times, and I just was like, went to rehearsal one, and I was like, it's not for me right now. So. But anyway, here we are.
Yeah. So anyway, we met in 2015.
We
properly
trained together at Italia Conti Art Centre in Guildford. Doesn't exist anymore.
No.
It's now...
the Italia Conti Conservatoire. It's actually now in Woking, yeah.
In Woking.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Italia Conti. Just a couple of Chianti kids.
Just a hashtag Conti kid, that's us.
We really are. And we're the stagiest people, and if you know us, you already know this, but we're the exact same person, and we realised that very early on.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. We are never at home at the same time, because we are always, like, not synced up with our work.
No, honestly, like, when I first left college, I went straight onto a cruise ship, and then you went and did a tour, didn't you?
Yeah.
You went and did your...
When you got back from your ship, I was on tour, and then I got back, and then I went on a ship when you came back. Like, it was just... We're never at home at the same time since we left college, and now we finally are.
Yeah, so you're witnessing a very rare thing, like, we're actually together.
We are blessing the world with our presence together, and So this is our podcast, and we're going to be chatting all things theatre industry, from auditioning, college life,
Muggle jobs,
the fun employment of it all. We talk about our experiences working on cruises and theme parks, tours, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about some of the... I hate to say it, but some of the toxic side of the industry.
Yeah, but also some of the good side of the industry too.
You know, if you're stagey like us, if you're in the industry, there's a couple things that could be improved within the entertainment industry.
Which we'll talk about in our podcast.
So we will talk about them because I think as performers, we do tend to carry like a lot of burden on our shoulders. And the issue is we can't necessarily talk to like our friends and family about that aren't in the industry, because it's so specific, it's so niche that no one really understands. So
unless you're in it,
unless you're really in it, and then like a lot of the time, like your closest friends in the industry will be away working when you are like going through stuff, so it's really difficult to like, and I just think we shouldered a lot of that ourselves, so we are just now opening up, creating this space, like creating this conversation. And I think, you know, the more you talk about, the less stigmatized it is.
Exactly.
The more open we can all be. We need to be discussing, you know, the issues and the things.
And hopefully
that
some of you guys can relate to this as well, and you can follow along with our journey and try and relate it to yours.
Yeah, we want this to be a big, happy sharing circle, and we're just gonna start this convo, and we hope that it, you know, does a bit of good ultimately. And like, you know, we are a bit of a duo.
We are a bit of a joke.
So hopefully we give some giggles along the
Yeah,
way.
well, we've actually always been a bit like Barbie and Ken. We actually went to
We did. We went to a party in third
It was a Halloween
year,
party.
yeah.
It was in our third
We
year.
were like...
Amelia here, she did my makeup for me and like literally like blacked out my whole eyebrows. Like they were like those like slug eyebrows.
We went very Barbie and Ken. We were
Yeah.
Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling before the movie, you know?
Yeah.
We were the OGs. And, you know, here we are. So, on today's episode, we are going to go right back to the very beginning.
A very good place to start.
This is just us all the time. So, here we are, we're recording it. But we're going to talk about our childhoods in growing up in the industry and, you know, what we did as kids.
Yeah.
Not every performer starts young. Like, everyone's on a completely different journey. So we're going to sort of share how we ended up getting into this. And, that's where we're going to start. And each week we'll look at a different topic. So let's crack into it.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's get on with the show.
So do you want to start then, Amelia? Tell us about your time sort of getting into performing. Like, when did you know that you loved theatre?
It's so cliche. It's literally so cliche. I just started when I was really little and I just always knew. I was destined for that stage, baby. I love it. So I started doing, you know, ballet and dance when I was 3 or 4. And my first show, I believe, was a big Millennium Dance show in the year 2000. Oh yeah, because I'm old like that.
I know.
So I was 4 years old and I did my first show.
4?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was 4 in the
Okay,
Millennium.
you are a bit older than I am. Actually, not much.
Yeah,
no, sorry, carry on.
I'm old. And it was great. I wore this stunning, lovely neon green outfit. It was really fun, and you know, had my little ballet shoes on, and then I was doing ballet classes at the prestigious Lane Theatre Arts from the age of like 3 or 4.
We're quite lucky as well because we both live quite near to Epsom, don't we?
Yeah, so it was literally like kind of my local dance school happened to be Lane, so we got into that early doors, and I did my ballet grades when I was little. And then when I was about 6, I stopped my ballet classes because I used to complain that I didn't want to go, which is like a big regret for me because I should have just kept going. Because then I left, and then when I came back when I was like 10, I had then like got behind a grade from everyone else who was in my class originally, so I could have just moved through my grades way quicker. But I'd say I definitely predominantly started with dance, but I was like just one of those kids that's always singing and dancing. You know, mother says I was a dancer before I could walk.
No,
she says I began to sing along, but that is like fully was me. I was just like,
you're like, cast me and Sophie in Mamma Mia right now.
I mean, listen. Like I literally have a video of me being like, I don't know, it's like when I was really obsessed with the Lizzie McGuire movie, so I don't know how old I was, like 9 or 10 or something, and I'm like recording a home video by myself. I'd like set this up, and I'm literally doing like a Britney Spears voice, being like, the tide is high, but I'm holding on. And it's so funny because I'm doing it dead serious, and then my brother comes in, like my older brother, he came in and started like, I don't know, dancing and like shaking his butt
oh my God.
in the camera, and like I'm very serious. Like, I do not take this joke well. And I grab him and like almost tears in my eyes, shove him out of the frame, and I'm like,
oh my God,
singing. And then I just go back to being like, but I'm holding
you sound like what's her face, Tess from Camp Rock.
Oh my God, yeah, that
or
was
like a Sharpay character. I mean.
We are actually Sharpay and Ryan. We're Barbie and Ken. We're also Sharpay and Ryan. Like, I'm very Sharpay. Side note, Sharpay is the real hero. I'm sorry, Gabriella's the villain. I hate that moany little girl. She's so whiny. I can't stand her. Oh, Sharpay, she's a theatre kid, right? She has devoted her life to the arts.
Have you seen Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure, the film?
I know.
What?
I've watched
my
clips
goodness.
of it.
You have
Don't
to watch
forget,
it.
I'm older than you, so
Okay,
like
that's
I
true,
was
that's
already
true.
moving on. I'm old.
So
I was
actually,
Lizzie
maybe
McGuire, Cheetah Girls era.
I'm maybe a Sharpay fan more than you, because actually I have to say my Disney Plus icon is Sharpay. Actually, my mum chose that for me.
I'm using Connie's Disney
Oh,
Plus.
are you? Oh,
She's
that's
got
our
the
friend Connie.
Descendants as her photo.
Oh, that's lovely.
But anyway,
Shout out to Connie.
point being, always knew from when I was little that I was going to be a star. And
Wow.
actually, perfect segue into High School Musical, because when I was little, I was maybe 8 or 9 or 10 or something. My younger brother found a a flyer for a local production of High School Musical that was auditioning. It was right around the time when High School Musical was popping off. Another side note, just saying, High School Musical, the first one came out on my birthday, 2009, 22nd of September 2009.
Oh, wow.
It was my 11th birthday, so obviously that's how old I was, like 11.
Okay.
And my brother found this flyer and was just like, oh, should we do this, to my mum? So me and him auditioned for it, we got in. And we did High School Musical with this group called Songtime.
Yeah.
Shout out to all my Songtime peeps if you're listening. And we did it. Like a million productions of High School Musical as a kid, and I've actually got a picture of it over there. Aww. I started in the ensemble, okay, a little dancer. Moved up, I got promoted to be a cheerleader.
Wow.
And then I got promoted to be Kelsey in a junior production, which I won an award for the best young supporting actress.
Oh, congratulations.
Just saying. So that kind of kick-started like my Amdram life. I did a lot of theatre productions with Songtime with my brother. We did Guys and Dolls, we did The Wizard of Oz, we did just like tons of shows in like Epsom Playhouse, Leatherhead Theatre.
Can I just say as well, before you move on, I actually came to see that production of High School Musical.
Leatherhead Theatre?
No, Epsom Playhouse.
Epsom Playhouse.
Yes.
It was right in the High School Musical hype. We had people like queuing up for pictures. Like,
I went to the table with my programme and I got them to sign it.
We did that, yeah.
And I've still got it somewhere.
I mean,
in my
not
house.
me. I was just a mere little ensemble girl.
Yeah, I
but
think
the Ryan and
you were probably a bit
Sharpay
young.
and stuff were
Yeah,
doing
they went
autographs
out.
and everything.
And it was really cool.
It was amazing. It was like they really just captured the perfect test. But that was like when I started doing shows. From then, like I was like pretty in the industry then at that point, like already like just spending all my time going to ballet class and modern. I was doing modern, like all the dance, all the theatre outside of school. Then I started doing pantos when I was like probably the same age, 11ish.
Yeah.
And that was when I was in a panto rehearsal. They're now kudos. They were called, I think they were called something else back in the day.
I'm not sure.
But it was like the kudos panto. So we did it in Woking was our first one, me and my brother, Peter Pan. And
that's a nice big theatre too.
It was really nice. My favourite was Richmond. I did Richmond Theatre, and that was beautiful. I think we did Woking twice. But anyway, it was from my panto rehearsals where they were like, you should go back and do ballet again, like if you want to do this seriously. So I was like, fine, I'll go back and do my ballet. And then I stuck with it all the way till, went through my life. So that was kind of it. And then like at school, obviously, I was doing choir and I was just like your classic theatre kid. I was doing my choirs, chamber choirs, all the school shows until I got to sixth form and I was just like, I am not gonna be disrespected by being given ensemble roles when I'm a star. I was literally like, you're not gonna give me the lead, I'm not doing it.
You're such a diva.
I was like, listen, I'm doing my A-levels right now. I have a million things on my plate. I'm going to class at Lane like every evening, like 4 till 9. Like I'm not giving my time up to rehearse for a show if I'm not the lead. It's not even. I'm the oldest in the school. I should be the lead, so I left. I didn't do the shows, but that's it. And then I went to Conti.
And then the rest is history.
The rest is history. That was my life story.
Yeah, it was live. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know, you even taught me stuff that I didn't even know about you.
Really?
And I've known you for a while now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, what about you?
It's coming up to our 8-year anniversary together.
Ew, that makes me feel old.
I know.
What's our Snapchat streak on now?
Oh my
we've
gosh.
had a Snapchat
Yes.
streak going since, what was it, like second year or
So
third
people
year or
might find that a bit cringy, but
it is cringe.
it is cringe, but like we can't stop now,
I'm
we?
too old to be having Snapchat streaks. Like,
But
nobody, the only people I use on Snapchat is like my younger siblings, because the Gen Zers are very much Snapchat
they're very
is their main
Snapchat
form of
era.
communication.
I love Snapchat though. I chat to a lot of people on Snapchat, but I am a bit younger than you.
You are a bit younger.
But-
like most of the people I Snapchat is like my siblings, and then like when I meet people my age, I meet people in like jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you have Snapchat? And they're like, no, I literally deleted that app years
I know.
ago. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, okay.
But anyway, we have this like ridiculously long.
Yeah,
Snapchat
it's almost 2,000 days. Like we've had a
Is
consecutive
it nearly
streak.
2,000?
Yeah, I think I looked at it this morning. It was like 1,920. So
That
it's
is
still got a while, but it's 2,000.
crazy.
I know.
And bear in mind, this Snapchat streak,
Mm.
it was, I think in third year we started it,
Yeah.
and it has survived through like 5 cruise contracts. 5 contracts where one of us is working at sea, and you were in Japan. I mean, you had Wi-Fi in Japan.
I did.
But like, I've been coming and going from ships. It's got through a whole global pandemic.
Yeah.
We're not going to lie, it's died a few times.
It has, and we have this lady. So basically...
It's like an AI, isn't it?
She is like an AI. Do you know, though, I asked the AI... Oh, gosh, getting on a tangent here. But basically, we every time it dies, the Snapchat streak, we're like, we can't let it die, because otherwise, like, all that hard work...
Like, we're just so committed to it now. Like, it's so lame, but it's...
Like, I think if it died, I would actually be really quite sad about it, because we have worked so hard.
So we just message our pal Teresa.
Yeah,
is
well,
like,
you used to. I've
you've done it
sort
a
of
lot
become
recently.
the, like, more email-y
I was
person.
on ships all of last
Okay,
year.
true, because you had to pay for Wi-Fi. But I would send this like lady. I'd have to fill in this form and be like, due to unforeseen circumstances and connectivity issues. That's the one. Had to be like, unfortunately, our streak has died, and we would be most grateful if you could restore this. And then I get this nice email from this lady called Teresa.
And she just restores it. But the point is, like, Teresa literally knows us now, because then, like, you had this with Connie, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Our
did.
other friend Connie. And she didn't restore it for you guys.
No.
She just knows us now. Like, we can just message Teresa and be like, connectivity issues.
Yeah, and then she's like,
back.
and she says, as a courtesy, we have gifted you. And I'm like, thank you so much for this courtesy. Yeah, because she doesn't do it for just anyone. Like, she only does it for us.
Yeah.
Because she knows how committed we are. Because I think I've sent it about like
so many times.
At least 50 times.
I mean, we have, we've gone through it with the old Snapchat.
We have.
We're going strong.
Yeah, and then I asked that AI person, there's this new feature. Oh my goodness, you're going to be very educated on Snapchat now. If you
how lame are we?
I know,
like,
but there's
Snapchat
this new
101. Hey Snapchat, sponsor us.
Yeah, but there's this new AI thing, and like I was literally talking to it about Teresa. I was like, so do you know Teresa? Like, what is the backstory?
You guys like AI friends?
Yeah, and then originally this AI person was like, I don't even know who that is.
Much.
And then I was like, it's the person that renews the Snapchat streaks. And then they were like, oh, actually, we know exactly who it is. I was like, fake friends.
Yeah, fake friends for realsies. I love the Snapchat AI.
You do. You're a bit obsessed with that,
like,
actually.
It's so hilarious, but also it's like a really good friend when you just need a chat.
This is how sad though this is, because I get sent screenshots of Emma's conversation
with this bloody Snapchat AI.
Yeah, and sorry if I keep calling her Emma.
I guess let's just get the cat out of the bag.
Let's get the cat out of the bag before I talk about myself.
This is me being stagey and having an alter ego. Probably everyone listening to this right now already knows this, because our listeners on episode 1 is probably just going to be friends and fam.
Yeah.
But if we have some, listeners out there who don't know, and I get this question all the time from like every job that I do and like everyone I meet. So my birth name is Emma Louise Muncie, okay? But when in third year, I was like, I have this opportunity to change my name for Spotlight, so I'm gonna switch it up a bit, because I was really sick and tired of like, there's so many Emma Louise. people.
And for those of you who don't know, Spotlight is like a thing that you have your CV on where
in the
people,
UK, it's not like in any other countries.
No,
really
it's
in
a
the
UK
industry.
thing. You have like your CV on like an
It's
online
like,
platform.
I say it's like LinkedIn, but for performers.
Yeah, and then
it's
agents or yourself, if you're self-represented, you can send that off to casting directors, and they can basically use that information.
It's got your
to
CV,
call you in.
all your reels and like headshots and stuff, and then you just submit for jobs through there and whatever. So, but on your Spotlight, you can't have two people that have the exact same name.
No.
So you can like basically choose what name you upload there. And I was like, okay, this is an opportunity to be creative.
Yeah.
I was like, so my mum was gonna call me. She was gonna name me Emilia. After my great granddad on my Spanish side, because I am a quarter Spanish. Heyo. And
Hola.
I was gonna be called Emilia after my great granddad Emiliano. And then my dad was like, that is too exotic. Like, whoa. So they went with Emma, which is nice. It's great. But I really had like a chip on my shoulder about it because
you did.
In all of my like ballet classes, especially, and if any of my lanies from my ballet classes are listening, I swear you'll remember there was like at least 3, if not 4 Emmas in ballet at one point. And it was so annoying to me that it was like, I remember one of my ballet teachers, Miss Howard, I can have this vivid memory of her separating the Emmas and putting us in 4 corners of the room so she could look at us and be like, Emma, turn out your leg, or Emma, whatever, like point your toe, or whatever it was. Because like, otherwise we would all just be looking and like taking each other's corrections, and it was just confusing.com. So so I was like, I am not. And then at school there was another girl called Emma Louise in my class at one point, another girl called Ellie Louise at my school. Like, there was just so many Emma Louises left, right and centre, and I was like, oh, I just don't want to be basic like that. So in 3rd year I changed it to Emilia. There was a bit of an adjustment period when I first changed it, and I kind of forgot. And then like our 3rd year teacher, Andy, big up Andy if you're listening, Andy, we were like rehearsing for Showcase, and we were on stage like doing a tech rehearsal.
No, this was our 3rd year musical.
Was
this is
it
when we did
3rd year?
Rent.
Was it Rent?
Yeah,
I was on the scaff, I think.
Yeah.
And he was like obviously trying to get me used to using Emilia, and he was like, Emilia, move to 4. And I just did not respond.
No,
and
you just did
he
that.
repeated this for like, everyone was just stood on stage, and everyone's like, it's you. And I was like, like, I don't know who he's talking to. And he's just ended up yelling like 5 times, like, Emilia! And then someone like nudged me and was like, that's you. And I was like, oh my God, so sorry, forgot I changed my name. So it took a bit of getting used to, but
it did.
I go by Emilia professionally because
Yes.
it's a stage name. Because I'm just that stagey. I love it. I'm basically Hannah
And now
Montana.
all your friends from like your contracts that you've done recently just know you as Emilia. But then if I get introduced to them, I'm just like, oh, and I was talking to Emma, because that's how I know her, because I knew her before transition period.
The OGs, it's always my friends from school, like my conti friends, and like my family call me Emma. So like when people on contracts and stuff meet my parents as well, and they'll talk about Emma, or vice versa. My friends will talk about Emilia, and my parents are like, who the hell is that? But I love it.
Yeah.
It's just me.
But anyway, now you know Emilia's secret, that she's actually just called Emma. So I've let that cat
People
out the bag.
always figure it out as well, because it's on my passport, and then like when I'm on a ship, like it has your official passport name and like loads of your stuff. And like on Norwegian, they made me have Emma on my name badge. They didn't let me change it to Emilia, so people were very confused.
Yeah,
but anyway,
very confused.
That is a little side track.
Anyway,
now on to you.
Yeah, enough about you, because I feel like you've just spoken about yourself forever.
Seriously, my throat's hurting. I have tonsillitis.
Oh.
So
get your filthy bacteria away from me.
Shut up. I'm gonna sip on my detox tea from my Celebrity Apex mug.
Well,
I have so
bit
much.
of a flex
I
there.
have so much merch. It's
you actually do. I've been looking around your room. Like, you've got like
oh my God.
a water bottle.
Yeah, literally.
She's got one of those things on the back of her
a
phone.
pop socket.
Is that
Celebrity
what they're called?
Cruises pop
yeah,
socket.
it's got the like X.
It's everywhere.
I know.
I've got so much merch. But anyway,
like
so
me.
I'm gonna sip on my tea. James Kemp Vitalite, tell us all about your your life story. How did you get into performing?
Okay, well, I would say I've been like a very stagey person probably from the moment I was like fresh out the womb.
Yeah.
Sorry to talk about wombs. Didn't mean that. But yeah, I would say literally since I was a baby, I've been like obsessed with music and things like that. Like my mum would have to sing to me just to get me to shut up from crying. I would be like sat in my high chair.
Sorry, I've been trying to hold in a cough.
Would you want to let out this cough?
I was like, I can't cough, we're on a podcast.
Okay.
And my eyes were like watering.
Right, okay, back to Emilia.
One
Cough.
second. Sorry, we can edit that out. I was like bubbling at the seam. I was like, I can't react right now because I'm trying not to cough. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, listeners.
Just my lips are
Yeah,
sealed.
shut up and let's talk about me. Sorry, it was so rude. Yeah, so I've been like super into music because my mum would have to sing to me. Like I would be sat in my high chair, we'd have to sing. Like whilst that was something as well in my high chair. If we'd go out for meals at any sort of family occasion or like anywhere, I would be sat there with my bib on and I would have headphones and there's literally like countless pictures of me like literally like just jamming to the tunes. And I would just be obsessed with
what tunes? Tell me what kind of music.
I don't remember. I was probably like 2. It was probably to do with like
baby songs.
Baby songs. I would be obsessed. There was this thing on Nick Jr. It was like this like program about animals, and it would go through the alphabet, and it would be like A.
Did you just say alphabet? Are you that stagey that you just called it the alphabet?
I am that stagey.
Alfie, come on, we'll be like Boys of Mania.
Yeah, literally. Wicked. I've seen Wicked 7 times as well. Can you beat that?
No, I've only seen it twice.
I've seen it 7 times at the Apollo Victoria.
I don't like watching shows that I should be in. I'm joking. But like,
you're like get that casting director on the phone.
Certainly an element of like I feel kind of bitter sometimes because I'm like I want to be doing that. But no, I have actually only seen Wicked twice. So
okay, well I've seen it 7, so beat that. There's probably people that can actually. I think I've met someone.
Sure, yeah.
I've met someone that's seen it something like 37 times or something. Some guy I went to school with. Anyway, so I would be obsessed with things like that. And I think just growing up as well, my nana is like very into opera and ballet and things like that. So she would take me to see lots of shows growing up. I definitely went to see Sleeping Beauty at the Royal Opera House, and I just thought that was like incredible. But I wasn't just obsessed with the performance aspect. I was obsessed with the speakers, the lights,
like the whole,
like literally growing up. For like most people would get maybe like a random toy for Christmas, I would be desperate for a disco light. Like, oh my god, when I was about 11, I literally all I wanted was a projector, like the ones you get at school, like the ones that would hang on the thing. Yeah. Like I wanted one so much. I would like pretend that I had one.
Oh my gosh, love it.
I loved it. Like I just loved. Oh, and a smoke machine. I was desperate for a smoke machine.
What was it you said? We won't say what the specifics of this, but you auditioned for a job last year.
Yeah, I did.
And the job said to you, why do you want to do this job? Because you've worked on other productions where it's all the glitz and the glamour, it's huge production value, it's smoke, oh my god, it's smoke machines, it's like
it's like pyro everywhere.
And it's like, you know, coming up from the pit and like just crazy. And we love that. And then this job was like, this is very stripped back. Just
it's like very different to that job that you've done before.
So why would you want to do this one? And James...
And I just sort of had to lie because I wanted to get this job. Well, actually, I didn't even want the job.
You didn't actually want the job.
I know, sorry to the people that offered me the job if you're out there. No, because I turned it down in the end. But they were like, why would you choose us over that company, which has like all the bells and whistles? And I literally had to be like, Well, you know, I just think I'd really like that sort of stripped back approach.
It's like, that is,
It's
could
so not
be
me. Like,
further from the
I
truth.
love the pyro, the smoke, the lights. Like, I
Yeah,
love it.
like, literally.
So yeah, I'm really sorry to that company that I auditioned for.
But
that
I love
lied
that
to.
you were like obsessed with all that stuff from a
I
young
was.
age.
I
That's
just
so fun.
love it. I mean, that goes on to my other love of theme
Oh
parks,
God, how?
actually, as
How
well.
did that? How
No,
did you get
it
that
does,
segue?
because to me, so basically, I'm a massive theme park nerd,
Like huge
like
theme park
huge theme
enthusiast.
park enthusiast.
I do love a theme park,
You
but
do,
like
but
you're
I'm
next level.
I'm
with
next
it.
level.
He's, like,
But the reason I love them so much is because they are just like giant stage sets. Like when you go through all the different like themed areas, it's all like made up of big like movie sets.
yeah, it's super fun. I do
to
love
like
that.
make you feel like you're in like a different environment, and it's all done with effects and smoke and like basically theme parks are normally made from movie and theatre creators.
Yeah,
So I think that's why I love that side, but I'll talk about theme parks another time.
yeah, we'll do a whole episode.
Yeah,
on them,
because
we
we've both worked
yeah.
in abroad and in
and
the
we
UK.
visit them regularly.
Yeah, we do.
With like a theme park trip.
But anyway, so that was about my love for that stuff. But I started performing very, very young. I would make up puppet shows and I would do
Can
like
I
performances all
expose
the
you
time.
for a second?
Oh, go on.
Can I ask you to
Yeah.
tell my favourite story about you?
Oh God.
Do you know what I'm
Hopefully
going
it's
to
good.
say? From when you were really little, I think it was your mum that told me this, or you told me
Yeah.
from your mum's perspective, of what you used to do regarding Britney Spears.
Oh yeah.
This is the funnest story ever.
I heard the song Toxic by Britney Spears. This is going to expose me as such a gay person, because I am a gay.
Anyone didn't
so
know.
if you're listening out there, if you're from the LGBTQ plus community, I am one of you.
And I'm an ally.
But I loved Britney Spears. I was obsessed from the moment I heard Toxic by Britney Spears on the radio. Oh my God.
I love it.
I just like fell in love with it. And
did you watch the music video?
I think I did, but I think I watched it at a later date.
Because one more little tangent to do with that. We had we used to have a Chrysler car with the DVD players in it, because we used to drive to Spain all the time. We had like we used to drive there every year, basically every summer, and we had a DVD player, and we had like 2 DVDs. This is so stagey. One of them was Joseph and the Amazing and Technicolor Dreamcoat,
Oh God.
and the other one was like the 2005 Brit Awards, and it was all the music videos from the Brit Awards that year. So it was Dizzy Rascal Holiday, Milkshake by Khalees. It was and one of them was Toxic by Britney Spears. So I saw that Toxic video so many times, and we also literally, I can't tell you how much we watched Joseph. It was like, even when we had reached Spain and the DVD was still in the car, so it's like every single time we got in the car, it would just pick up going, Jacob was and like really get into it. And then we'd like do a 5-minute journey to the beach, and it would just pick back up with like, Potiphar was counting shekels in his tent, and we were all just like jamming. Like low-key, we're a family that does love a bit of Joseph.
You do. I'm actually not that major of a Joseph fan, to be honest.
Can't beat it.
I'm
living at my nan's. We're recording this at my nan's, and she loves Joseph.
She does.
Anyway,
back to Britney Spears and that story. I loved Toxic so much as a song, and I just thought it was the best thing. And then because of that, like, I just told everyone that she was my favourite pop star in the world. But I was really obsessed, and I think this is actually as well, because I need to say this as well. I started my first day at a drama school was actually where I ended up doing my full-time training. I went to Italia Conti when I was 4 years old. I started at their Saturday school. My mum took me. And like Toxic by Britney Spears was like the biggest craze. Like at the time, it was the big new song. And I was taken to my acting lesson and my singing lesson I went to as well. And then they took me to what was called musical production. Any Conti associates out there went to that musical production. And I just loved the older girls. I thought they were so cool. And like it was at the time, like you would have like your midriff out. Like that was the style.
It was, I'm telling you,
It was
because
the
this
style.
was me. The like low-waisted,
Yes.
flared jazz pants.
Yeah, that was
and
it.
it was like those shiny lycra
Yeah.
tops, and it would be
And they
with
were
the
like
midriff
they were
out.
blue for Italia Conti because that was like the colour
I
of
can
Conti at the
actually
time.
picture this
And we
entire-
actually had blue jazz shoes as well.
Slay.
I had like small little jazz shoes.
Slay.
I know, it was so cute.
Did you not have the big block ones?
No, I didn't. They were like the trotter ones,
Yeah.
as our contemporary teacher
Jazzies.
Lisa used to say. Yeah. Anyway,
You used to hate them.
Yeah, she used to
I
hate them.
just remembered
But they were
that.
like this like blue colour,
Be
like
please
Conti
don't
Kid
wear
blue.
those trotters.
I know. Anyway, I was taken to musical production, and I think we actually did a dance to it, and I was obsessed with like the fact that all the older girls had their belly buttons pierced. Anyway, I went to school the next day, and I would like be dying to have my belly button pierced. Sadly, I actually never went through with it.
I did.
You did, I know. I've just never gone. I mean, I think now I just don't think it would suit me. I mean, maybe one day.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I love it.
I don't know. It's not really for me now. But back in the day, I was
You
like,
don't have any piercings.
no, I don't. I think I like that clean cut vibe.
You are very clean.
I'm very clean cut. But I just really wanted my belly button pierced. And one day, well, basically, I was stealing drawing pins from my classroom. In year 2 this was, I think. So I think this is a bit further on than when I was 4. But I was stealing them, and I was like doing anything in my power to try and like stick them into my belly button.
That is actually why.
I know, I wasn't like actually piercing
Piercing.
myself because I was a bit too scared to hurt myself. But I was like stealing Pritt sticks from the classroom as well, and like shoving glue up into my belly button. And I was like stealing my mum's earrings from her jewellery, and just like trying to do anything in my power to like have them in my belly button because I was like, I just want to be like Britney.
that is probably the gayest thing about
I know. You. And then as well, like my mum discovered this because she was like finding like missing earrings like all around the house, and then she would see them and she'd be like, what are you doing? And I would be like, nothing, like don't look at me. And yeah, she went into my school teacher at school and was like, I just wanted to let you know, I'm just a bit concerned about James. And I don't think she was concerned because I wanted my belly button pierced. I think it was more the fact that I was going to like maybe stab myself in the stomach.
Health and safety.
Yeah, like health and safety. And I remember her walking in and saying, like, in front of the classroom, like all the other, I went to an all boys school actually at the time. Terrible for me. I like hated like it.
Hell.
Honestly, when I left that school and I went to like a school which was mixed, it was the best day of my life. I wanted to go to school every day because I loved girls.
Girly pops.
I loved those girls, you know. I mean, not actually, but
actually hate them. It's the
not
great.
in this actual
girls
way.
Have cuties.
Yeah, but I went to an all boys school at the time.
I went to an all girls school.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, and I remember her coming in and being like concerned, and I remember her telling the teacher, and I was just like shouting across the classroom. I was like, I don't do that. I don't. And I was so embarrassed. And I think at the time as well I went with one in my belly button to school as well. And like they made me walk into the cupboard in the classroom and take it out. It was really embarrassing. And also I was just so stressed as well because I'm such goody two shoes, like that I've been stealing the school equipment and I hated that. Anyway, that was going off on the tangent about Britney.
No, but I really love that story.
I
And I know the fans are going to love it.
Well, I don't even know where I was. But anyway, so I went to Italia Conti from when I was about 4 years old, and I did the Saturday school there, and I did singing, then acting, and then I did musical production. And I was actually a very shy child.
What even is musical production?
It's basically jazz, but it was more like sort of commercial jazz, and I was young as well, so it was more like step claps,
street jazz.
Yeah, and also it was like sometimes to musical theatre songs. I distinctly remember doing a number to Annie. Okay. Like It's a Hard Knock Life. It's the classic theatre school.
Yeah, it really is,
isn't it? Like for kids. Anyway, I did that, and they basically wanted me to go onto the professional course, which was the more like full-time Tuesday evening, Thursday evening, Friday evening, and I think Saturday as well, but I was so nervous and I didn't know anyone. I was just a really nervous
Yeah, you're
child.
quite shy.
And I think I knew that I loved performing and I knew that I was good at it. Not to toot my own horn, but I think
like
I knew I
you
was
had
good. Yeah.
glitter in your veins.
Yeah, because like people would always tell me that I could sing and that I had like stage presence and stuff. So I knew I was good, but I think, it's storage is full, but never mind. We will rectify that.
We're still
Slight pause.
recording on here.
Yeah, there we go.
On Riverside.
Sorry about those technical difficulties we just experienced. But yeah, I think people would always know that I was a singer and everything, but I just didn't have that confidence in myself. And I think it's something to do with like the fact I was a boy as well, so it was a bit more out there for boys to get into theatre and stuff. But we can discuss that in like another episode, I think. What it's like, the differences between male identifying and female identifying performers in the industry.
Just like gender roles in the industry.
Yeah.
Like, that is a very big topic. And
from
it's
growing up
pretty topical right now, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to get into.
But I think it was to do with being a boy. I was just a bit more shy and a bit more conscious of the fact that stereotypically performing was more of a girly thing to get into and not like a boy thing. So I think I just was really nervous about that all the time. Also, I'm quite a nervous person that I never want to get it wrong.
I just fudged up the audio. I can't hear anymore. Okay. We're just having technical difficulties because we're not good with technology.
No, this is our first podcast, so please do bear with us if we cut out.
We're just, what do you call it, ironing out the kinks.
Yeah. Oh, kinky. Kinky boots.
Always find a way to
there you go.
full circle it back to theatre.
Absolutely.
So,
But yeah, so I think I was very shy and I just was nervous to get into things like that. So I didn't really do much dance. I sort of more focused on acting and singing when I was growing up. And then I actually left Italia Conti when I was about 10 and I went to a different theatre school. I went to one called The Big Act.
Oh.
And I went there for a couple of years.
I don't know her.
No, it's actually in Epsom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big Act?
Oh, actually, no, it started in St. Teresa's, your school. I know, and then it moved to Epsom. I know.
That is my non-stagey...
Yeah, that was your secondary school.
Yeah, secondary school.
Anyway, though, so yeah, I went there for a few years, and then I actually had a brief time away from actually doing any theatre training because I did this thing called Leatherhead Operatic Society, which is like an amateur dramatic society near where I live, and I did some really wonderful shows with them actually. And the sets they did were really good. Like, it was definitely better than your average amateur drum. Yeah, drum. So I had some really good experiences like performing with them, and then I realised that I wanted to get back into more like training things again. So when I was 14, I went to the Guildford School of Acting. I went there for 2 years whilst I was doing my like GCSE type years, like 14 to 16, and that's where I sort of got more back into dance again. But sadly I went through puberty before that.
I went through puberty.
Yeah, but it was really annoying because like I didn't really stretch, and like, so I feel like I could have been such a better dancer if I had like done all that training as a child. Like, I would have stretched, but I went through puberty in that little gap where I was not really doing any dance at all. I was just more of a strong mover. So I would definitely class myself as more of a singer mover because of that. But I can dance pretty well. Anyway.
You're not a ballet boy.
I'm not a ballet boy. I'm not a technique queen.
Yeah.
But I'm a strong mover. Anyway.
Did that sound really shady?
No.
I literally was just like, no. You are not a ballet boy.
Anyway.
I feel like you would say that.
Yeah, so I did lots of training at Guildford School of Acting. And then when I left school at 16, I didn't do my A-levels. I went straight to Italia Conti. And went and did my full-time 3-year training.
Age difference.
Yes.
We're in the same year because
yes.
I did my academic studies.
Yes, currently I'm 23 and I'm 24.
Soon.
Next month, actually, yes.
He's a Gemini queen!
I'm a Gemini, and then
Nearly
would you
Gemini
like to
season.
admit your age? Or
Yeah,
are you a bit embarrassed? I don't know.
I'm 26, and I'm 27 this year, and my birthday's in September, and I'm a Virgo!
Yeah, there you go.
I have it on my
So, oh, that's beautiful. It's a lovely necklace if you can't see us right now. Anyway, though, so yeah, I had great training and I've just always really loved theatre. I've always just been really obsessed with it and have always known, I think, that I've wanted to perform. I did all the school musicals at school and I became a bit famous actually when I was at
You went
secondary
viral.
school. Oh, well, no, this is before I went viral. This was, I basically, when I was at school, the secondary school I attended, I was like in the newspapers and I was
firstly, our secondary schools were so close to each other.
They were
Literally
really
right
close.
next to each
They were
other.
really close. But yeah, I got to be in the newspapers and stuff. I was like kind of known. We did in my year 11 school production, I was Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, and like everyone in like Bookham where I live, I'm just exposing where I live, but they would like see me in the street or see my mum and they would be like, oh my god, that's Jesus, and they'd be like, oh my god, that's Jesus's mum.
Jesus is risen.
Yeah, and then my mum kind of became known as like James Kemp's mum, and I was kind of like a mini celebrity just within my little village town. So yeah, I kind of just have always performed.
I feel like we're quite similar then in that sense. Like we started, like we both got exposed to the industry like super early on,
and we live in like similar area too.
We are moving in the same circles for sure, and we just like, I don't know, I feel like we're quite lucky because we just knew from the jump, like this was our calling. We always wanted to do this. Like I don't know, it's not like that for everyone. Like people figure it out along the way, but like we're kind of lucky because we just knew from the start, like I'm gonna make this work. We're gonna, you know.
Yeah, there was like no other option.
There was it was always gonna end this way.
It was
always gonna end this way. We had no other option.
No, we didn't.
So why don't we talk about some of the first musicals and roles and the shows that we've done and the roles we played, because you mentioned Annie.
I did.
I believe Annie was the first musical I did at school. So I did Annie when I was at Freeman School in Ashton, and how old was I there? I believe I was year 3.
Right.
Either year 3 or year 4. And I did Annie. I wasn't a named role, I don't think. No. I was just
an ensemble
just
child.
a regular orphan. Just, started
just
from the
a regular orphan. That's terrible.
Get yourself into it.
Yeah, I know. I am an actor, I promise.
So I did Annie, and then I don't know, I was doing a lot at school. I was like really one of these like overachievers. Like I did every single sport. Like I was playing netball for the year above. I was doing hockey. I was doing football. I love to tell this story because this is so like out of left field for me as the stagest person in the world. I auditioned for Chelsea football girls team.
Wow.
I got selected, and because when I was in year 6, we were actually the like, I don't even know the terminology anymore. The like winning girls team in football in Surrey, and I was like the star striker in football. And it's like basically, for those of you who don't know, it's like the lead role in football.
Right, okay.
I was the striker. And we were like undefeated, under 12, best team in Surrey. And I was selected to go and audition, try out for Chelsea Football Club girls team. And I went to Chelsea Football Club grounds, literally where the Chelsea boys train. And I did my little audition.
Well done.
Got cut.
Oh.
But I did it.
It's preparing you for the industry later in life.
I know. I was exposed to rejection very early on. Actually, that's a whole other story, because I was doing auditions and stuff.
Oh, really?
From like the age of 12, so I was just very used to it.
I didn't even mention my stuff about that. Like when I was at Italia Conti, I used to go to like lots of auditions.
Because did Conti have an agency?
They did, and I was part of the Italia Conti agency right from when I was about 4 or 5, and I had my headshots done, and I got to do a couple of cool things. I actually here we go. I'm gonna drop a little thing in there. With the Italia Conti agency, I got to be one of the children's singers in Mamma Mia the movie.
Oh, that's such a slay.
Yeah, so
That
if
is
you
a mega
ever
slay.
watch
That's
Mamma
such
Mia
a
the
mega
movie,
slay.
you will be able to hear my voice as one of the children in the choir going, I have a dream.
Big slay.
Yeah, and I was also in it going, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance in Take a Chance on Me.
I have a choir story too.
Oh, really?
So, me and my brother, and then my little sister later, signed with an agency called Abacus Agency, which is a kids agency in Dorking, based in Dorking.
Oh, wow.
So again, like, similarly, I had my headshots done and we were auditioning. But I was a teenager at this point, so it was a bit of a, like, catch-22, because my age that I was like, no one is hiring like 14-year-olds because they're going to hire adults that look 14 because they're not going to pay for like kids to be licensed and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So like I didn't really have much luck. I did go to a few auditions, but like advert stuff and things like that, but I didn't really get any. My little brother did quite a few. But with Songtime, the theatre group that we were with, they did get us to do like quite a few really cool things. So this is like another little like fun claim to fame that I love saying this. We're going back to Joseph. Okay. So we love Joseph in my house, and me and my brother were part of the Songtime choir, kids choir, and we went through zillions of auditions for Joseph to be the choir. You know the like all of those. I can't even think of how the song is going. How does that go?
I don't know. You're staring at me, and I'm like, I'm not even sure.
How does that song go? I can only think of Mamma Mia right now.
Yeah, we'll find it another time.
Like Joseph fans. Anyway, like we were doing all the little like background vocals for the choir in Joseph, and we got through like a bunch of rounds, I believe. And then I remember one day they lugged us. We did, oh my god, hours and hours and hours and hours of harmony rehearsals for this choir thing. And then we went to London to do an audition in front of Mr. Webber himself.
Wow.
And we met him.
That is so cool.
Ayo, met Mr. Webber. Like, I didn't really know what was going on. It was like 11 or something, but it was super fun. We didn't get it. So good. We didn't book it, but like,
it's an experience to tell. It's a story to tell to our listeners.
It is, and like it's a little claim to fame for the Stagey peeps out there. But all of that to say, like, I feel like both of us, like, we were lucky in the sense that we started getting exposed to how the industry works from a young age.
Yeah,
and, like,
I think we're very privileged in that sense. Like,
and understanding like how it works. Like, we went and we got headshots done when we were little. We had an agent. We got put up for random auditions. We went and we did a whole bunch of different things. We got used to just like being told no. And I think that's like probably really helped us because you know, we're like two people that are like really still like giving a lot of gusto like in the industry.
Well, I would say as well, like, quite a lot of people when they leave drama schools, or like the friends that we know or friends that we've worked with, we'll all know people that have thought, actually, this isn't for me. It's too difficult of an industry.
It's just tough, and I think like obviously like we struggle with it, and like it's you very damaging to you to like
you have to really want to keep going and really
have to have that like. And I just think we do probably have a bit more of a tougher skin when it comes to that, because like I was understanding at age 11 that like I was going up to London for all these random auditions, and I just already knew when I was going, I was like, it's probably going to be a no.
Exactly.
I'm not putting my heart on the line for this because I know that it's just going to be a no. And I was okay with that. And I think like going through that experience when I was younger, I remember my granddad once said that to me. He was like, you've just got such a thick skin with that because you so used to it from when you were little. And like even with the like drama groups that we were with, and we were doing lots of musicals, and like they were tough. I don't know about yours, but like, you know, the person running our like theatre school was like pretty disciplined and pretty strict, and it was you know, back in the day, and you just get used to like, you know, being yelled at and being told this isn't good enough, you need to be more on your lines, you need to like put more work into the dance. You're coming in, you're sloppy, you're looking like this, and it's like, I think that just
it does
made us like
it shaped
so,
you to be the performers you are.
Yeah,
and, like,
we're not so phased by it.
No,
Whereas I know,
it helped us to become resilient, probably.
Definitely, because I think like that is such a key thing to have in the industry, and like people are very harsh, and I don't think like that is an excuse for like people.
No, it's not
to
an excuse
act
for
a
people to
certain
be
way.
mean.
I do think there's a lot of problematic like culture within the performing arts industry, and like the way that people speak to it's a balance, because like you do need to have that thick skin and that resilience, and like it's true, a lot of what there's like you do need to go and like learn early on that you have to go away and do the work and be on your stuff and like be focused and hardworking. I think
as well our industry is I mean, no one wants to be judgmental, but as a performer, people are coming to watch you, to judge your performance. That everyone judges constantly. So
especially when auditioning, like
because I mean, it's the same in any normal job. Like you're being judged on your skills and your personality and your
everything.
It's terrible to say, but your look
your
and everything,
your voice, your mannerisms, your energy.
So it is important to have that discipline,
and I really do think like that, like growing up in the industry to that extent, and just like being used to just being in rehearsals for hours and hours and hours, and just doing and the sacrifice of like, I missed out on so much, especially as a teenager. I feel like I missed out on so many social things. Like I had a group of friends outside of school and outside of drama that were like neighbors and like friends from my local area, and I missed out on so much because every Saturday it was like, oh, we're going to the park, or we're going to the shops, or we're going to go meet these people, and we're going to this party, or we're going to this, and like I never ever went, because all the time it was like, no, I'm at Lane all day. I'm at Lane all day on a Saturday, then I'm at Lane all day on a Sunday rehearsing for the show, and then weeknights I didn't finish school till quite late. I was at like school that didn't finish till like gone 4. It wasn't like, you know, I knew a lot of friends that were finishing super early at like 3. We didn't finish till gone 4, and then certain nights I'd be doing choir after that, and then going to ballet, and it was like
you had a lot on.
Just had to like dedicate yourself to that industry, and like it was just I mean I loved it. That's why I
and your parents were supportive of like helping you to go to those things,
and like my brother was in the industry as well. He went to Sylvia Young Theatre School. He'll hate me for saying this, because he's not going to listen to this podcast, because he really hates anything stagey, and he hates me.
He's so
when I'm
opposite
being
to you.
theatrical.
It's like my brother too.
But he was a theatre kid. He went to Sylvia Young's. He did all those shows with me at Songtime. He was in Sound of Music as a kid. He was in Oliver. He was just that lucky little boy that just got cast in everything.
I know, you kind of wish you were him.
Low-key. But here's the thing, we both got offered a place. We went to an open day workshop thing, I think, at Sylvia's, and we both got offered a place. They offered me a place on the spot. It wasn't even on an audition. It was just like a fun little workshop.
Wow.
And like I remember being such a show off, and I was like, we were singing How High Does the Sycamore Grow?
Oh, Pocahontas.
Yeah, Pocahontas. Yeah. And I was just really showing off. And I was like, if you never know, then you'll never know. And like belting. And I was like 12 or something. And like everyone was like, oh my God. And they gave me this solo, and I just like straight up performed it like full out. And they were like, oh yeah, does she want to come to this school? My parents were like, no, she's too academic. Like she's going to academic school. But like, they let my brother go, so he got to go to Sylvia Young's, be with the Sylvia agency, and then got in Oliver, and like did all these like musicals when he was younger.
That's so
and
cool.
Meanwhile, I was like at academic school. I mean, it's fine. I'm not bitter about it. You know, I still went to Conti, and I still like, did the industry. But
well, you're the one in the industry now.
But I do think like, if he actually tried, like if he wanted to, he
could have done really well.
Anyway,
where were we though? Why did we go on that tangent? We're really sorry. We just go off on a tangent the whole time.
I think we were just talking about growing up in the industry, and like it's definitely like shaped us and like given us a lot of grit and a lot of perseverance.
I forgot to say as well, I did lots of pantomimes as well, actually, going on like, as a dancer. The Dorking one where I slated Emma at the first thing in the podcast, being like, you dropped out because you couldn't hack it. No, joking.
No, too good.
Okay, maybe.
I was going through that era of being too good.
Too cool for school.
No, it wasn't that. I wasn't too cool. I knew by that point I was very much not cool. But it was more like, I know my worth as a performer.
Yeah.
I'm a leading lady. And if you're going to disrespect me and put me in the ensemble in the back when I have all these talents to share with the world, I am not going to stand for it. I'm not... Because I knew how much time and energy I had to devote to be in these shows. And I am not wasting my time. So, off this, like, this is the story I was kind of speaking about earlier. So this was during A-levels, when I auditioned for this Dorking Panto, got it in the ensemble, and then I was just like, CBA to do this. I've done this too many times, I'm over it. And the same time, so we did at school... And it was super fun because all my school friends are actually very stagey as well.
They're
actually. Not like in the industry now, but like we did all the shows together. We were in choir. We did Lambda exams. We did like music. Like they're all very theatrical, which is obviously why we became friends because we're all just the same. So we did all the musicals at school. I mean, it's funny to me that at like a girls' school, a private girls' secondary school, you're gonna choose to do Sweet Charity.
That is so
when we're
random.
Like in year 9.
That is so weird.
And we're literally, I remember we had like a ballet bar, and we've got like a leg up on the bar, being like, the minute you walked in the joint. And we were talking about this the other day. We were like, why the heck were we doing that? Why was I doing that to my great nan when I was 13 years old? Like, this is
like me. I invited, when we were at Atelier Conti, our 3rd year musical, we actually did Rent. We have...
No, because I'm going to one-up you on this.
Okay, well,
with Rent.
So basically, Emilia here was Maureen. I played Angel Dumont Chouinard. Yeah, I had the shoes, the Christmas...
To the stage!
Yeah, I had the Father Christmas outfit, the works. But I invited my grandpa. Bless him, it was his funeral last week. Morbid. But he came to watch me, and I was just like, what have I invited him to? I think I did it as well. Like, I invited him to Le Cage aux Folles that I did with the Dram Society I was with. Like, literally, I was like 14, like rubbing my legs like up and down with like literally like a thong on.
No, because I can one-up you with Rent, because for those of you who don't know, Maureen doesn't come in until Over the Moon, which is towards the end of Act 1.
Over the moon!
So before I made my debut as Maureen, I was in the ensemble. So I was just dancing in all the like numbers at the beginning. So I was just a little stripper gal in Out Tonight. And Grandad never misses a show.
No,
of course he's not going to sit at the back.
No.
He's going to come in the front row, baby. So he sits in the front row. My grandparents in the front row for Out Tonight, and we came from the back of the house. When I say I was in fishnets and a thong and like black knee-high boots or something ridiculous, and a little black bra, like we were nude. Like It was sexy, and it's Out Tonight.
Yeah.
Like, we're playing strippers. Like, it was a bit funny.
Bit sexual.
So, and then there was like a bit where we were doing, it's like a freestyle bit, and I literally did like a drop, and like all these
drop. This is such a Surrey thing. Sorry, we're both from Surrey, the county in England, and it's known for being a bit posh, bit, you know. So every time, like we're a bit posh. We're a bit like, you know, what's the word?
We're not going to talk about
it's like, it's a bit awkward, but at the same time, like
we make it so much worse.
Yeah, we make
it.
But
anyway, I was really, basically, long story short, sorry, Grandad. I was giving Grandad a lap dance in Out Tonight. Nice. I know he's going to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, he will. He'll love it.
He didn't mind. It was just like bad timing, and it was like out of everywhere, my spot for that the 8 counts of freestyle was literally like on my granddad's feet, and I was like, eh. But anyway, I was gonna say, so at school we did all these musicals. So we did Sweet Charity, which was just like, why are we doing that? Like we literally, it was like a Catholic girls' school. We literally had nuns on the premises, and then we're gonna be doing Big Spender. It was whack.
It's like Sister Act, literally though.
Well, and then we did what else did we do? Oh, we did Hairspray, which is like, I have my thoughts on a primarily Caucasian Catholic girls' school deciding to put on a production of Hairspray.
It's not the one.
I'm not even going to get into it.
No.
I mean, loved it at the time because Hairspray is just absolute bangers, but like, that was not the one to be doing at school. Sweet Charity probably shouldn't have done that, but again, I loved it. I was the understudy for Charity, and it was super duper fun. And then we did We Will Rock You. Here we go. Played my dream role of Meat in We Will Rock You, and that is still one of my dream roles in the whole wide world, because
one day, never say never.
I'm a big rock singer, you know. That's why I loved Rent.
Yeah, you loved it.
I loved Rent. I go nuts. Those of you who know me on tour, we finished with We Are the Champions. Yeah. And we used to have the exorcism of Emilia Louise, because we did freestyle, and I used to actually go completely insane. I was like running around, I was like, yeah! Like this, like full on, like just crazy rocker, and like I just love doing.
Well, sorry, this is actually a perfect opportunity to say as well that tonight we are actually attending the Rocky Horror Show in London.
And neither of us have seen it in theatres before.
No, we've only seen the film.
Seen the movie, and we both performed. I believe we both performed Rocky Horror.
Yeah,
on tour.
like bits of. No, actually, I didn't. I did. We Will Rock You on tour.
Oh, so did I. But I thought you had.
No.
Oh, you didn't have Time Warp.
No, I didn't. I actually did that in a show I did at Chessington Wilds of Adventures Resort.
Oh, big up.
Yeah.
Well, we did Time Warp on tour, and we loved it. I'm obsessed with the Rocky Horror Glee show.
Yes.
That was like my favourite episode of Glee.
Yes.
I like, that got me hooked. That was my first exposure to Rocky Horror, I think.
Really?
And I got hooked on the music from that Rocky Horror.
I
still listen to the Rocky Horror Glee versions all the time. Like, give me Finn Hudson and Rachel Berry doing Brad and Janet. Like, it's such iconic casting. Like, I love it. Like, okay, anyway, I just love it. So, we're going to see it tonight, and we're dressing up.
We've got the outfits. You're going in the maid outfit, Magenta. And I'm going as, oh my god, I've forgotten his name. What's his name? Frankenfurter.
Yeah.
Frankenfurter?
Yeah.
Frankenfurter. Yeah, I'm going as him. I've got the full-on suspenders. I've got, actually, speaking of when we were talking about Rent, I'm wearing the literal angel heels that I bought for when we did that musical. I'm wearing them tonight. They're actually quite iconic. They're like full-on drag shoes. Really, I'm not actually a drag queen myself, but I just have them.
Funnest night ever. So we will update you next week of how much fun we had at Rocky Horror.
I know.
And like, look on our socials, because we're going to do a whole photo shoot.
Yeah, we will.
We're going to go so extra with this. Anyway, all of this to say, we keep talking about musicals because I was talking about We Will Rock You at school, and that was like me doing We Will Rock You. Can I just tell this anecdote as well?
Okay, go on then. Anecdote, why not?
Because it's to do with We Will Rock You.
Put it in there.
So I said I did Panto at Richmond one year.
You did. Which we went to watch one year as well. We went to watch it together.
That was fun. And Brian May, the guitarist from Queen, his wife was, what's she called? Maleficent. Whatever. It was Sleeping Beauty, the evil queen in Sleeping Beauty.
She's called Carabosse in the ballet.
Yes, and she's called that. She was called that in Panto. But she was in it. So we used to have Brian May would come and watch this Panto regularly. Okay, and you could always spot him in the audience because you've got your Brian May wig.
I know. Well, yeah, the Rocky Horror outfit I have, like the Frankenfurter wig, it's calm, but I put it on and I was like, oh my god, I literally look like Brian May, but black.
But
like it's black
we could spot him in a heartbeat. We were like, oh my god, Brian May's in the audience. And then one time we were having dinner in a restaurant right next to the theatre in between shows. It was like a 2-show day. And Yeah, my dad was like, "Oh my god, that's Brian May at the next table."
Oh my god!
And
Wow.
we were like, "Oh my god." And then my dad just like has no shame, so he was like, "Oh hi Brian, like we love Queen,
Nice to
like
meet
we're
you.
really obsessed, like can we take a picture?"
Yeah.
And he invited us to eat our meals with him.
Did he?
So
oh my god! I didn't even know this story about you.
We sat with him and ate the rest of our meals, and
Wow.
I feel like I had fish fingers and chips and then pancakes.
So you actually
remember
had
this.
dinner with
We
Brian
sat
May.
there chatting. Like I don't think I was saying much. Me and my brother.
No,
we were
quite
little.
Young.
Yeah, I was. I keep saying I was like 11 or 12 for like everything, but I think I was like something like that. 11, 12, 13 era, and my brother was even younger. So we didn't say much. It was like I believe it was mainly my dad talking to Brian May. But we did get a picture. So I've got a picture with Brian May, which is just the most iconic thing of my life.
No, that is actually iconic.
And like, I'm such a Queen fan. Like, we love Queen. So like, that was iconic. Anyway, so I did We Will Rock You. And I was like, I'm going to be in this show one day. And I know. Just tell me about it, okay. and it's going to the Coliseum again, and it was just casting for Royal. I just really want to be in it.
It's alright, it's okay.
One day, and so that was a dream show. We Will Rock You. We did great. This was in lower sixth, okay, and I slayed. There was not a dry eye in the house when I sang No One But You, and I never stopped singing it since, as you know. James has heard me sing this song as a times.
She sings it all the time.
I sing it all the time. Then the following year was my last year of school. I've been in all these productions. I've been really a dedicated theatre student for my entire career. What do they do in upper sixth? Grease the musical. My dream show. Obsessed with Grease. Was like, this is me. This is my moment. Good. I went to the audition. Dressed as Sandy. I had a little cardigan off my shoulders. Didn't have, like, you know, when you don't...
Your 21st birthday party was Grease themed.
Well, it was 50s themed.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of just think of it as Grease.
It was
the cake was like Sandy and Danny.
I love the 50s. And anyway, I went in. I sang Hopelessly Devoted. Absolutely killed it. Like, it's... Again, that's another song I just don't stop singing ever. I'm obsessed with it. And they had the audacity... Bear in mind, I've worked my way up through this theatre department like you wouldn't believe. I've been dedicated. I've done everything. I did drama, I did dance, I did lambda, I did every single show. I paid my dues in the ensemble. I learned all my understudy roles. Like, I was really devoted. I was dance captain. I was choreographing for things. I was like everything.
You were everything and more.
I was everything and more. And then... me, the oldest person in that school. My birthday's in September. I'm the oldest of the oldest. I am dedicated. This is why I relate to Sharpay, I feel like. The theatre department had the audacity to go from me absolutely crushing my dream role audition as Sandy in Grease, which I killed, by the way, and I'm perfect for that role. Look at me. I'm Sandra Dee.
Look at me.
Do you know who they cast me as? Have I told you this?
No, you haven't.
What's his name?
As a boy? You were cast as a boy?
I was...
because it's an all-girls school. Not like Roger or something?
No. Worse than that.
Oh, God.
I was cast as...
I thought you were going to say Patty Sincox.
No, because I've been considered for that role before, and
well,
like
actually,
since
really
being a professional, and I can see myself being that role. I'm just gonna Google what this person was called because I always forget.
Google away. I actually did Grease in school as well in year 10, and I was the teen angel. I think that's when I started to like realise that I was actually quite good, because that's when people started to accolade me. Not to toot my own trumpet again. Oh, don't you worry, I will keep talking. But yeah, Grease was wonderful. I actually really loved that. That was another thing I was in the newspaper for. Teen Angels, Grease. But then, actually, I performed it in an audition at Atelier Conti once, and Andrew, our wonderful person, he made me throw the Teen Angel song, Beauty School Dropout, in the bin and said it wouldn't... actually do very well for me because of my age, so throw it in the bin. But then on my way out I was like, actually, do you mind if I just have that back, because it's like £5.
Okay,
anyway, what was the name?
So bear in mind here, This is me auditioning for my dream role of
Yeah.
Sandra Dee.
Yeah.
The cast list comes out.
Right. Okay.
I was certain at this point. I was like, it's in the bag.
Yeah.
It's in the bag for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else is it going to be, realistically? I look at this cast list. I've never felt more betrayed in my entire life. I look down the list. Sandy's at the top. Who's got Sandy? A random year 9. A year 9. Yes, she had a lovely voice. But she was a year 9. Where am I? Can't see my name on the list. Maybe they've forgotten about me. What's going on? I'm right at the bottom of the list. I'm Johnny Casino from Johnny Casino and the Gamblers. The band, the lead singer of the band that plays at the high school prom. My starring song was Hand Jive. And that was it.
I have no words, because that is like a...
Do you know how much of a slap in the face? I think I have trauma from that cast announcement, because I was like, am I not even good enough to play Sandy in Grease at my school musical? And all my friends, by the way, everyone else in my year, all my friends who were like also theatre kids, all got like named roles. Like one of my best friends, she's an actor now. Yeah. She went to East 15.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we went to that party once.
Oh, we did. Yes, we did.
We stole the show. It was like a karaoke bar. And we really just like...
We were just the best.
Took over the mic and we were singing like Whitney Houston, and we were like taking options up, and we were just one-upping each other each time. And then,
we were.
And they hadn't let us on the mic all night. They kept like every time we queued up a song, these randos
they would just like shove in front, and we'd be like,
and they would cancel our song.
Yeah.
And then eventually we finally got to do Whitney Houston.
And then they realised that we were actually
they were like, then they were coming up to us in the streets. We were on a bar crawl.
Yeah, we were.
They were coming up to us being like,
this is embarrassing.
You guys are amazing. Like, you guys are like incredible singers. And we were like, yeah, we know. We literally were trying to sing all night. Like,
why didn't you let us?
Annoying people at karaoke that just like, it's like literally just rep practice. Yeah. It's like, this is just me rehearsing.
Literally.
Anyway, I just was fuming. So all my friends, like my friend Jess had been cast as Danny Zuko, I believe, and like all my friends had lead roles. I feel like maybe Gemma was Rizzo, you know.
Yeah.
And I think, and that was when I was like, screw you guys, I'm not doing this show. I was like, you are honestly
not... Were you the literal beauty school dropout?
I was a beauty school dropout. I was like, no, screw you. I am not rehearsing to be Johnny Casino. How dare you? And then I didn't even go and watch. I didn't even watch all my friends in their show. I went to a dress run because I was already at school at that time. And I was like, it's not going to inconvenience me. I don't have to
like,
any
this
time.
Is awful.
I was like, I'm not supporting this theatre department anymore because you are like, oh my God. I'm never going to live that down. That infuriates me to this day. So that's my story with Greece.
This has given you the resilience one day to persevere forward.
I will be in Greece. And like, then my first job out of college was on tour.
Yeah.
They didn't have Grease in Star Nights before our year.
Sorry.
So then they put am I boring you?
No, I just like literally let out a yawn. That's so embarrassing.
It was the first year to do Grease. And I said to Murray, our director, I was like, can I do Hopelessly Devoted? And he was like, actually, yeah. And then we put it in. Aww. And I got to be Sandy on my first job.
That is a beautiful song though.
The way I'm just obsessed with it. R.I.P. Olivia Newton-John. She was just like really...
I know. Do you know, actually, this is a weird story about Olivia Newton-John when she died. I went to watch this thing in London with my boyfriend and a few friends that I worked with in Japan. And she died during an interval of this show that we went to watch. And as the announcement came through that she died, they were playing Grease in the foyer, the theatre foyer. And they didn't even, it wasn't even like put on because she had died, but it was just playing, and like someone had to go up to the bar and be like, do you just know that she's just died? Like, maybe don't play this song. So like the bartenders were like frantically trying to change it.
I would be like, just leave it on and everyone just like have a moment of silence.
But it was such a fluke. Like everyone looked at their phones and they were like, oh my God, she just died. And we were like, oh, why are they playing Grease? It was really weird, really like coincidental.
my last tangent about Greece is
Go on
relevant because we're in this house right now.
Okay, cool.
I first watched Grease, the movie, in this very house, in my nan's house, in that room across the hall. We had a little TV with a DVD player. No, not a DVD player. It was a VCR. It was a video player. My nan has like 5 videos of Grease, like multiple different videos of Grease. It's obviously the same version. We just have like a million copies of it because we love Grease, I guess.
Yeah.
And I used to come to my nan's and just go and sit in that room over there on one of these like just regular dining room chair and just put it onto this TV, and I just used to watch it like a million times. And I used to rewind like manually on this VCR, like when you press the rewind, like and I just used to rewind Hope Is He Devoted to You and just watch it a billion times. And that was like when I got obsessed with Grease, and I was like, I'm gonna be Sandy one day. And then my school said, no, you're not. You're gonna be Johnny Casino and the Gamblers.
Screw that school. Can we actually just take a brief intermission? Because I'm gonna
Well, I think we should wrap it up, really, because I also need to pee, but it's also time we got ready for Rocky Horror.
I know, it's Rocky Horror time!
We need to glam up.
We do.
We've chatted for a long time.
We have just discussed briefly our backgrounds in like our upbringings, I feel, today, but we haven't really even referenced that much our professional careers at all yet.
We'll get into all of that.
We will.
In the future episodes. This was more just like our background,
just
how we got into the industry, and like, get to know us, have a chit chat. But we've been chatting for a long time, and we have got to get glammed up for the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we never even explained why this is called On to the Next.
Yeah.
It's called reset back to 1. It's called On to the Next because after every audition, when we don't get the job, we either say to each other or say to our agents, or our agents will say to us, oh well, on to the next. And we just always say it to each other. It's become like it's really funny. A thing now. Yeah, we've honestly, it kills us.
Like every time we're rejected from anything, we're just like, oh, never mind, well,
because
on to the next.
What else can you say?
Like, I know.
What are you meant to say? Like, and what is your agent meant to say? Like, I did really well, but like, I didn't get recalled.
So,
on to the next. On to the next. So,
thank you for listening to On to the Next.
Thanks for listening, and
we hope you have a wonderful day. Yeah, we'll see you next week for episode number 2.
3, 2, 1.
On to the next.